In the rapidly evolving world of retail media, few platforms are uniquely positioned as DG Media Network. With more than 20,000 stores, Dollar General serves as a lifeline for over 90 million shoppers across the U.S. at a time when all shoppers are looking to save money. DG Media Network, media built better. Hi, everyone. Today is Wednesday, November 26th. Welcome to eMarketer's weekly retail show, Reimagining Retail, an eMarketer podcast made possible by DG Media Network. This is the show where we talk about how retail collides with every part of our lives. I'm your host, Suzy Davidkhanian, and on today's episode, we've got our unofficial retailer rankings list for November 2025. This is where we rank the most interesting retail moves of the month, but this time it's with a twist. Since it's Thanksgiving Eve, we're looking at those strategies, launches, and collabs that we're genuinely grateful for. The moves that made us smile, surprised us, or gave us hope for where retail is headed. Joining me in the studio, we have Analyst Emmy Liederman. Hey, Emmy.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. And we also have Analyst Rachel Wolff. Hey, Rachel.
Hi, Suzy. I'm thankful to be joining you for this episode.
I love that. We're already starting. Thank you. And we have Senior Analyst Zach Stambor joining us from Chicago. Hey, Zach.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Great. Okay, so before we get started with our most interesting unofficial list, let me quickly walk our new listeners through the rules. The committee, Arielle, Becky, Emmy, and I put together our unofficial list of interesting retailer moves this month. So in the first half of the episode, committee representatives for this episode, so Emmy and I, will count down our list and we'll discuss the standout moves that we're thankful for. Then in the second half of the episode, Rachel and Zach will get to either introduce a new player, so knocking one of our picks off, or move a retailer up or down, or pretty much agree with us. Okay, so let's get started. I have number 8, which I was so excited when I saw this on ABC News and had to do more research. Pillsbury, yes, Pillsbury Doughboy, is doing a collab with Club Wyndham in Midtown, where it's called the Let It Dough Studio. It's a whole room and it's a hotel experience, fully immersive. It's supposed to look like the Doughboy's Baking Cottage. You can book the room between November 17th and January 6th, and it's really a holiday destination with a giveaway component, so a great way to get more data. I am thankful that this is just a different, unexpected activation, that people are partnering together that you would have never thought, although it's not that far of a stretch, because if you think about some hotels, they have great cookies downstairs in the lobby. And I'm thankful that my Instagram will hopefully be filled with Doughboy content. Apparently, you guys, I don't know if you did a little bit of research and digging in, but there's even a giggling hotline, and I think it's really cute. We're seeing a lot of Pillsbury commercials right now, and I think it's warm and fuzzy.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Pillsbury just has always had this sweet, welcoming brand. I mean, because of the product, you kind of have to maintain that, and has never done anything necessarily edgy, but is always like kind of warm and welcoming. And it's nice that this is just another like iteration of that.
Yeah, perfect timing for the holiday. So in number 7, we have edgy, but maybe in a different way.
Yes. Actually, I feel like Nutter Butter is on the complete opposite side of the spectrum if we're talking about snack brands or any type of dessert. So Nutter Butter has been bizarre on TikTok for quite some time, and you would think that based on how old their account is, it would lose some steam and the joke would kind of wear off. But they've just kind of committed to this like weird acid trip-esque type of style that if you were to look through their page, you would kind of be like, in what way could this possibly ever help their business? Which I think is the best type of marketing, where you're like, this really doesn't seem like it's overly promotional. It's just strictly for entertainment and to be memorable. And I think it's cool because Nutter Butter is owned by Mondelez, and it's not just some like mom and pop snack business. Like it's definitely, it's part of a major corporation, and the fact that they can get away with being as edgy as they are, I think is a testament to like trust that they have internally with their social team.
I kind of love it, though I didn't know it because I'm not Gen Z, but I love that I can appreciate the Gen Z humor and that they're playing along with the meme culture in such an authentic way.
Yeah, I think unhinged is definitely the way to describe a lot of what they're doing on TikTok.
And they also, I think, have some level of self-awareness, right? Like they know that they're not going to be the number one snack brand. They know that they're kind of random. They know that they're like never going to be the Oreos of the world. So they're like, let's lean into the fact that we're kind of on the outskirts, which I appreciate.
I love it. The other thing I really appreciate coming into Thanksgiving is Jell-O's new cheeky limited edition holiday molds. So what it is a no thanks Thanksgiving mold. It comes in 3 types: Brussels sprouts, cranberry sauce, or pecan pie. It comes as a whole kit. It's only available on Walmart.com while quantities last. And it's the 125th anniversary of Jell-O. It's such an iconic play on tradition. I just love it. And I'm so thankful that old school brands that are cultural can actually be cheeky and fun. I think that's the theme of our episode so far, right? How can a brand that is old or more corporate feel fun? And I love that in one SKU, they're able to acknowledge just how hard the holidays can be, and that there are a lot of things that people may not be as thankful for during the holidays, and we need to keep that in mind.
I am kind of offended that they included pecan pie, because I don't think pecan pie is in the same category as Brussels sprouts. Do you?
100%. I was puzzled by that. Like,
yeah,
of all things?
who doesn't like pecan pie? Like, it's really not. It's very sweet, and I didn't think it was divisive. But I could be ignorant.
But this is like, it's pretty simple an effort, but it gets your attention. It's like a great campaign because it takes the old school Jell-O mold and just gives it this modern spin. And so I think it's really fun.
Me too. And it's like limited time, right? So sense of urgency, it's going viral. What's number 5, Emmy?
So number 5 is a collab between Dove and Reebok for a pair of limited edition sneakers that is inspired by a type of Japanese art called kintsugi, which is basically all about just repairing broken pottery with gold where cracks are highlighted. And I think it's an interesting collab because Dove is so consistent with their brand messaging and their brand purpose, and they're always talking about embracing imperfection and different types of beauty. And I think Reebok is also not one of those, I think Suzy mentioned it before, like one of those main sneaker brands that you're always talking about, like how they're doing hype beast type of things and like crazy collabs. Like this one is kind of understated. It's just a sneaker that has some gold on the ridges, and it comes with a bunch of locations. Reebok locations in India also are offering a kintsugi workshop where people can come in and try out like this Japanese style of art. So I think it's a really thoughtful collaboration, and I think that it goes against kind of that like wasteful culture around sneakers and is a lot more intentional.
Yeah, I think it is maybe hard to grasp on, like, I think if you're not familiar with the concept, then, it might take a little bit more to grab the consumer's attention. I think also the fact that it only is in India, it seems like, and that there wasn't much publicity about the drop, I think maybe could hurt its sort of like value appeal.
You guys, I thought it was global.
I also thought that, and then I only could find India.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything on Reebok's website about it either, which...
Oh, but this idea of, like Emmy said, I was so thankful that it's like repair and resilience, and like it's not just about things, but it's about your mind and your body, which is the whole Dove thing. Was so cool.
Yeah, I think I totally get that, and I think that's true. It just requires like a full explanation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it would require like a full marketing campaign for people to really understand the point that
I guess we know what's coming off the list, Emmy.
Well, I think the kintsugi workshop part is so important here because I think it's an interesting way to get people excited about coming into your store that isn't just like, let's sell them more stuff. And you're teaching them a skill, which I think consumers are looking to have improvements and have fun like through engaging with brands. But I hear the frustrations.
Resistance.
The resistance, yes.
Well, so to recap, we have number 8, Pillsbury with Wyndham, number 7, Nutter Butter, number 6, Jell-O, number 5, Dove with Reebok. And who's in number 4, Emmy?
So number 4, we have Kiehl's. So Kiehl's actually had a campaign that they came out with last year that was called Kids Should Stay Kids. And it was a reaction to a lot of talk around like Gen Alpha skincare and beauty and all these Sephora kids, which are just 6-year-olds. Like, who knows if they even know their ABCs yet, but they like know what serum is. And so Kiehl's has had their stake in the ground and said, like, we are an adult brand, so we are in a position to talk about how these kids are too young to be purchasing beauty products. So this came out before 2025, but the reason I'm bringing it up now is because Rini, which is Shay Mitchell, who's an actress and an influencer, her new skincare brand for children. It's like sheet face masks for kids, and it's caused a lot of upset online from both marketers and parents, just thinking that it's like kind of out of touch. So Kiehl's just resurfaced its campaign and just said, it was a creative that said the only face mask kids should put on, and it's like an actual kid in like an actual like shark head mask. And it was kind of cute. The caption is like, let them have messy hair and wild hearts, not complicated skincare routines. I just thought it was sweet. I think this campaign is showing that it can be relevant over a long period of time. And a lot of people, including myself, thought it was brand new and just a reaction to the Rini Shay Mitchell news. So I think that goes to show that it's effective.
Yeah, big brands can have a flex.
I love this. I think it's so simple, but yet so pointed and relevant. And it just is so on brand for Kiehl's as well. And so I just think it's like exactly what they should be doing in such a on point sort of way.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that this is something that more beauty brands are going to try and hop on and just take a stance, right? Whether you're for sheet masks for 6-year-olds or you feel like kids don't need anti-aging skincare.
Yeah, and I think a lot of brands are getting wrapped up in this, maybe unfortunately because kids just decided they want to buy that brand. Like, I think Drunk Elephant, kids decided that they were obsessed with Drunk Elephant, and I think Drunk Elephant was like, we didn't really necessarily target you as a consumer. But I think Kiehl's is like, because it's so adult coded, they kind of know that they're never going to like touch the Gen Alphas. So that they're a safe person to come out with this messaging, and I think it's effective.
I love that. Speaking of effective, just in a different way, number 3, we have Starbucks. Did everybody hear about the Bearista cup? It went viral. I was very excited about this. I think that knowing that holiday merchandise can still go viral at $30, by the way, and that people will immediately run to the store, whether they love Starbucks or not, to purchase what looks like a teddy bear with a beanie lid and a matching straw. It launched November 6th. It sold out immediately, and it created a resale market and a lot of frenzy. And I'm thankful, honestly, that whether you love Starbucks or not, that they're making the news with something fun and thoughtful and cute, and what they probably didn't think was going to be tongue-in-cheek way of getting people back into their doors, but it worked.
I mean, yes, it was definitely a success, but I think also there was a lot of social media content about like people getting into fights around the Bearista. So I'm not sure if that's exactly the environment that Starbucks was going for.
I agree, but it was a cultural moment, right? I feel like there's a whole knockoff movement now. It's like, you know, sometimes good press comes with bad press. So totally agree that there were a few, you know, tension-filled moments on Instagram, and some of the employees probably didn't love it, but I do think it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it shows that they're taking themselves a little bit less seriously, which I think is important. I mean, Dunkin' has been so successful taking, I would say, the opposite approach of being very approachable and doing all of these celebrity partnerships and just having more of a cheeky brand. So I think Starbucks is realizing that like the whole elitist vibe isn't really working for them anymore. So coming out with a teddy bear cup maybe could help that and like soften their brand a little bit.
Yes. Thinking about taking yourself not too seriously, The next one we have is Whole Foods with Too Good to Go. And the reason why we love this one is because they're doing those sustainable surprise bags and they're rolling it out. So if you don't know, Whole Foods and Too Good to Go just recently expanded their partnerships to be nationwide. And Too Good to Go is this app-based service that helps when food is surplus. It's going to waste, so you can have it at a much lower price point. It's with grocery stores. It's with quick service restaurants. I think bakeries. There's a whole gamut. I downloaded it. If you haven't downloaded it, do so. It's good for your pocketbook. It's good for the environment. And we just are so thankful that Whole Foods is thinking about a way to reduce waste. And it's really sitting well right now as people are a little bit more stretched.
I love this campaign. I think that Too Good to Go is a platform that I've been using for a while, and it makes people like myself feel like they're being less wasteful and also saving money. And these are two things that I think are like top of mind for consumers right now. Great way for Whole Foods to shed their whole paycheck reputation. And yeah, I think consumers are going to be happy about this one.
Yeah, and it's a great way to get people to go to a Whole Foods store and, take a look around and see what else Whole Foods has to offer.
I was going to make the exact same point. But I think also the thing that is so effective about Too Good to Go is it really is all about the surprise and delight. And once you get something from one of these bags, you very well might then purchase that again from Whole Foods. There was another thing that Whole Foods did that I thought was worthy of being on the list. Can I mention that?
Yeah, of course.
So they opened this Whole Foods concept store where it attaches on to the Whole Foods store a micro fulfillment center. So when you go to Whole Foods, you cannot buy like Tide detergent or whatnot. But what you can do with this store is you can go into the store, scan a QR code, and then on your way out of the store, pick it up. And this is like the big attempt by Amazon and Whole Foods to broaden out its food selection in the offline universe in a way that is different and distinct from Amazon Fresh. And I think it's super interesting. I think it's super clunky as well. But I think it's very notable that Amazon recognizes that it has an issue with the current way that it is approaching grocery offline and seeking to remedy that.
And you're thankful that you'll be able to buy Tide with your very expensive vegetables.
100%.
I love it. Okay, so before we reveal number one, let's look back at our list. In number 8, we have Pillsbury and Wyndham. Number 7, Nutter Butter. Number 6, Jell-O. Number 5, Dove with Reebok. Number 4, Kiehl's. Number 3, Starbucks. Number 2, Whole Foods with Too Good to Go. And in number 1, Emmy, who do we have?
Number 1 is Gap. I think they've just had a really standout marketing and retail year. I'm sure everyone has seen the Cat's Eye girl group milkshake cover by now, and the denim line that's come along with it. They also just released a line of Wicked apparel, which Suzy and I said we're grateful for because it's not ugly. It's actually pretty understated. Last year we had a lot of collabs that had questionable aesthetics. And they just did a holiday campaign where they had a rising star named Sierra Spiro cover The Climb by Miley Cyrus, which I think is great for a few reasons. Number one, that is a nostalgic song for sure. Like my generation loved Hannah Montana, the movie, and just has a lot of I think positive associations with that music. And also they're deciding to spotlight rising talent. Like Cat's Eye, even though they were a lot more well-known than Sierra, they aren't like the Sabrina Carpenters. I can't believe I just brought her up twice in this podcast. But they aren't like the top talent of the year. And I think that gives Gap a certain level of... They're just kind of on the right side of history, I would say, of not saying, okay, we're just going to tap this person because they're everywhere. We're going to try to spotlight emerging talent. And that makes it feel more authentic and more memorable.
And I think it makes them cool.
Yeah.
Right? It's more cool to have the up and coming talent in your ad than, say, like Sabrina Carpenter or Sydney Sweeney, right? And I think I would say that that approach kind of carries over to the brand collaborations that they've done as well. You know, these partnerships with Doen and Sandy Liang, who are, you know, maybe not huge names in fashion, but they are known to, you know, like the fashion in crowd and the taste makers. And I think that has really helped Gap get back in the limelight.
And one more thing I'll say, like, just in this era of AI slop, Gap has said, we just want to celebrate truly talented human beings, like people that can dance really well, music that we love, people that can sing really well. And I think like just that entertainment-driven content that we know is coming from actual people who have been vetted to be talented is something that consumers are craving. And I think that's another reason why it just is coming at the right time.
I love it. On the eve of Thanksgiving, we are definitely thankful for people, which is why our honorable mentions are also Claire's for getting a second chance with the same people who are helping Lids turn around. And we're thankful that kids will have a place to go to the mall and get their ears pierced the old-fashioned way. And we're also thankful because for months and months we've been reading about the Netflix house and it's finally opening at King of Prussia. And we are really eagerly waiting to see what does that blurred entertainment, connected TV, commerce experience actually look like. Okay, so now it's your turn. Rachel, what's your move from our amazing list?
Okay, so do I go for the low-hanging fruit with Dove, or do I do something different?
I think you could do something, whatever makes you thankfully happy.
Okay. I am going to move Kiehl's up. I would say definitely above Starbucks. I don't know, can we do ties here?
Unfortunately.
I would maybe even put it to number 2, let's say. So pipping Whole Foods, because I think that, you know, this is a really important question for the beauty industry as a whole, which is, you know, what do you do with the fact that you have this whole generation of consumers, very young consumers who are very interested in shopping beauty, but who are not meant to be buying those products? And I think that, you know, by sort of drawing this line in the sand, Kiehl's is saying, you know, we are taking a stance. And I think, as I said earlier, that more beauty brands are going to start doing the same.
Emmy, what do you think?
I love it. As we said, I think it's the right message at the right time for Kiehl's, and it is just a testament to how valuable the message is that they can just resurface content that already existed and people are obsessed with it and think it's brand new.
I think this is the first time I haven't gotten any pushback about making a move.
To be honest, me too. I'm giving it to you. Because I also found that it's a one Instagram post that is sort of making a movement that was probably marginally unintentional. And it's such a good, quiet flex. And so marketers just need to remember that everything you do is always being watched.
Yeah. And it's also like not overly snarky. I feel like when a lot of brands clap back at other brands, like I just think about the classic like McDonald's versus Wendy's versus Burger King thing, it just gets old and it's a little bit like, okay, enough already. So this was effective, not overly snarky. That's why.
Love it.
I agree.
We're moving it. Zach, what about you? What's your move?
So since it's available, I'll move Dove off the list and I will just move Netflix on. I'll just put it right at the back of the list. But I am so thankful that Netflix House is finally open and we can stop hearing about like it will open. Here's where it will open. I think it seems really fun and engaging with the miniature golf, all the selfie areas to dive into Bridgerton or Stranger Things or all of the different titles that they have. I think it's a super compelling way to just continue building the Netflix brand. And I'm excited to see it roll out more places.
Do you think you'll be paying it a visit anytime soon?
Yeah, I mean, if it opens by me, for sure.
We should do a field trip.
Love that. Love a good store visit. Emmy, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like the most excited about Netflix House, but that's just because I don't think I'm the target audience. Like, I think it's a great idea. And I think everything that we said about Dove and Reebok, I love the campaign and I want it to stay there. And I wish it was staying there because I think there's a lot of good potential, but maybe the execution wasn't quite there.
I'm with you on the execution. I really thought it was global, so my bad. It's too bad. Maybe they're piloting it to see if it works, or maybe there is like this global localization and they're still We're going to wait to see how that manifests itself in North America. I love the messaging, and I'm so sad the execution wasn't fabulous. So I guess reluctantly, me too, I agree that we move it off of our list.
Yeah.
Wow,
So now,
2 for 2.
I know, right? Well,
I feel like
you
we
guys
need
had
to
some-
fight more. Like, is there anything controversial we should bring up now? I don't know.
Well, let's see what your additions are. Right now, we're at number 8, Netflix House. Number 7, Pillsbury with Wyndham. Number 6, Nutter Butter. Number 5, the Jell-O Molds. Number 4, Starbucks. Number 3, Whole Foods with Too Good to Go. Number 2, Kiehl's. And number 1, Gap. So now, do you guys have any additions? Zach, what would you add to our list?
So I have a couple options, but I am very thankful for the Airbnb and Instacart collaboration, which I think is really super interesting. So what they're doing is they're testing out this like kitchen stocking service in 3 markets that lets Airbnb guests order groceries through Instacart well in advance of when they arrive. And then when they get there, the kitchen is stocked. And I just think this is such a smart win-win for these 2 brands. I mean, Airbnb gets to grow its services revenue, remove friction. For Instacart, they get access to new customers and just build these relationships. And I just think it's like brilliant. Because one of the most annoying things when you get to your Airbnb is that you have to go to the grocery store and like figure out where it is, then get back and all of that hassle. And this just removes all of that. So I just love it. I think this is such an interesting collaboration.
And it would just be ready for you when you arrive, like they coordinate with the Airbnb owner, or
I
is
think
it
the host gets paid for like basically unpacking the groceries for you.
Right,
So they're
right.
incentivizing hosts to participate.
Yeah, that's definitely solving a real issue, and I think it's really smart on Instacart's.
I will put it number 6 and then
So-
knock off Netflix House, which I just put on there.
So between Nutter Butter and Jell-O.
Yeah.
I just think that from a retail lens, the Netflix thing is truly going to either revolutionize our world and everything we talk about all the time, we're going to see it in real life, or it's going to prove that no, actually, people are still entertained separately from where they're.
It's just good to debate something on this podcast.
Yeah.
So.
We'll put you, though, in honorable mention because it probably did knock out poor Reebok. I was so excited about that
Reebok
one.
is definitely gone now. There's no
I will
saving
take it.
Reebok.
What about
unfortunately.
you?
One retail announcement that I was thankful for was ThreadUp. This month, they announced that they're launching peer-to-peer selling on their marketplace. And so the reason I'm thankful for it is because I think, we're seeing this huge surge in resale, partly because of, tariffs, people are looking for cheaper ways to shop. But I think there's also kind of a sea change happening among younger consumers where, they are actively seeking out places like ThreadUp or Vinted or Depop because it's more fun. And so I think adding this peer-to-peer element to its marketplace will help ThreadUp kind of stand out in what's becoming a fairly crowded market. And what is interesting is that they're also taking a different approach to it. So they're vetting sellers, they're sort of imposing limits on how many items sellers can post or sell to really control the experience and solve some of the pain points involved in resale. So I think it's interesting. Is it, as revolutionary maybe as Netflix House? I'm not sure. I'll let the committee decide.
I always think it's nice when you're trying to solve for a friction point. I don't know if we need more resellers. I don't know. I guess it's like we keep saying, it's in the execution.
Yeah, I think time will tell whether that gains traction same way that Netflix has. Well, I think Netflix House is very notable, but I am just curious how popular it will be and how much people will care beyond the marketing universe.
The K-pop Demon Hunter fans are going to be swarming the first
and the
months.
Stranger Things people probably. Yeah,
And
I think
we can't judge it on the one location right now because it's kind of I don't want to say it's in the middle of nowhere, but it's not, like it's a destination. Yeah. And if they've clearly done a lot of research as to why they picked that space. So once they understand what foot traffic looks like, how many people are willing to travel for it, I imagine that there is a price of entry, right? It becomes like the Harry Potter house where there are huge lines, not anymore, but for a very long time. So I think it'll also depend on how often they change the activations. Like it'll be on so many different levels, which is why we're thankful that someone's experimenting. Someone with deep pockets is experimenting.
Oh, I kind of think the Netflix house thing will function in a slightly different way. Like, I think it is just a thing to do. And the actual titles are just like a bonus. I think of it as kind of like, do you know what Putt Shack is? It's like a indoor miniature golf place that it's like really fun and exciting, and you can have like dinner there, but you can also just play. I think it's kind of like the same sort of thing. It's just like a thing to do with your kids when it's like lousy outside. And if it happens to have K-pop Demon Hunter stuff, all the better.
I guess time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell.
And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you, Emmy.
Thank you. This was fun.
This was so fun. Thanks, Rachel.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. And thank you, Zach.
Yeah, thanks. I'm so thankful to join you.
Thanks. I love it. And thank you to our listeners and to our team that edits the podcast. Please leave a rating or review and remember to subscribe. I'll see you next Wednesday and wishing you all a happy Thanksgiving. Here's hoping that the weekend brings you at least one fun find you didn't even know you were looking for. And a special thanks to DG Media Network for making this podcast possible. And on Monday, you can join Marcus for another episode of Behind the Numbers.
I had an apple cinnamon muffin that was left in the kitchen. Well, I don't think it was just like left there.
It sounds like somebody was eating it and they just took it.
No, I think it was like for us, but I totally understand the confusion.